The economy's so bad, it'll have you thinking you bad with money, and all you did is buy groceries.
How is everyone struggling at the same time right now? Like, I'm looking around and it's not just one group of people. It's people with degrees. It's people with jobs. It's people doing everything that they're supposed to be doing and still barely getting by.
Hey guys, so y'all know I work at Walmart and I was doing returns earlier, right? I had to bring something back to the cold section of the store. And upon bringing something back to the cold section of the store, I actually bought like, I want to say some orange juice or something, right? And while I was bringing that back, I was looking at the new size of the Walmart orange juice, right? And I said, I know for a fact that orange juice used to be the same size as a gallon of orange juice. I say, I'm not crazy. I used to buy it and it was this size. Everybody know what a gallon looked like, right?
Hey YouTube, lately it feels like every time you open social media, someone is talking about how normal life has somehow become way more stressful even though they're working, paying bills, and trying to do everything that they're supposed to do. Today, we're going through a bunch of different TikToks that all touch on that feeling, but instead of focusing on each clip individually, the weird part is that it's not one giant problem causing all of this, it's that groceries, insurance, monthly bills, shrinking products, and never having enough time all stacked together until even a completely normal week starts feeling exhausting.
I saw a video of a guy talking about how the public is getting extorted through convenience, and how because people are working longer hours and getting paid less, their time is becoming so valuable that they are justifying paying extra for things like takeout rather than spending an hour or 2 hours going food shopping and then cooking that food, and how that's also doubling the profits of billionaires because they're making money off of paying you less and then making money off of you buying extra into these services. And I wanted to expand this into procrastination as well. It's burnout. People are overworked and overstimulated, and they start procrastinating the things that they have to do because they don't have enough time for the things that they want to do, which is why so many people, I would argue, is so chronically online and doom scrolling so much more than, let's say, 5 years ago, because it is the only third space that people have that is easily accessible and free. People can access it while they're on the toilet, while they're eating, while they're in bed, and it doesn't require a large setup. They don't have to drive somewhere. They don't have to pay an entry fee. They don't have to put gear on. It is simply just there, and it is creating a form of procrastination because it's not what people want, but it satiates that escape from the things that they have to do, and that then adds to the burnout and the procrastination and the overall feeling that you don't have time for anything. And then they lean more into the extortion of convenience. It's the same way that all businesses try to hack your brain, whether online or in physical buildings, so that when you walk in, you are acting on instinct. You are not thinking, you are just trying to get things out of convenience through special music, special lighting, lounges, food samples, anything to get you to shut off and just buy things. Manufactured scarcity through limited time or discounts. It is all just to pull more money from you. Without going too far into this aspect, I would even expand this even further and say that part of the reason why there's so many content creators and people who are monetizing and shoving so many ads into their content is because they're all trying to participate in the digital lottery and escape these problems and have more free time. Rather than focusing on the actual problem, they are simply focusing on themselves and how to get out because so many people are in survival mode. At the end of the day, corporate greed, capitalism, and billionaires are at the center of these problems, and I don't think policy alone is going to remedy this.
And one of the biggest reasons people feel like something is off is because paying for basic necessities doesn't even feel straightforward anymore. You can budget everything perfectly and still get hit with a random fee, a price increase, or sometimes a charge you forgot even existed. Insurance is probably one of the best examples because people spend hundreds every month hoping they'll never need it. And then if they finally do, there's deductibles, coverage limits, and paperwork waiting for them. Even if everything works the way it's supposed to, it rarely feels simple. Then you walk into a grocery store and realize you're doing the math the entire time instead of just buying food. You're comparing brands, checking unit prices, wondering why packages look the same but somehow has less inside thought, and deciding what can wait till next week. Even grabbing a few things can somehow cost way more than you expected. The same thing happens with subscriptions and monthly bills because it feels like every service slowly gets more expensive without you really noticing. One bill going up a few dollars doesn't really sound like much, but when your phone bill, streaming services, groceries, insurance, internet, and everything else all increase by a little bit, suddenly your paycheck doesn't stretch as far as it used to. That's what makes people so frustrated because it usually isn't one giant expense that throws everything off. It's dozens of small ones that keep constantly asking for more. After enough of that, you start feeling like you're getting ahead. You start feeling like every paycheck already has somewhere it needs to go before you even get to enjoy it. And when basic parts of life constantly feel like they're trying to squeeze a little more money out of you, it's not surprising that so many people end up feeling financially drained even when they're doing everything they're supposed to.
Hey, so y'all don't think it's weird that we pay for shit just in case? Like, just in case you have a fucking wreck, you need car insurance. So what if I do not have no fucking wreck? What if I drive for fucking 30 years and never had no wreck? Is that money I done wasted? Or is it just in case? Like, that shit it don't even make sense when I try to break this shit down in my head. Like, you know what I'm saying? What the fuck? Tomorrow is not promised, but we paying for shit monthly. Like, I don't, if y'all get what I'm trying, I don't even understand what the fuck I'm trying to say, cause this shit just don't make sense, bro. I don't know. This shit just don't make sense, bro. Real shit, like you need life insurance just in case you die, for you to get buried properly. So what if I don't die for 100 fucking years? Did I just waste the money? I don't know, bro. This shit just don't be making sense to me, bro.
At some point, capitalism will just force people to stop participating in it. Like, I really believe that capitalism will get to the point where people can no longer participate in the capitalism and can no longer participate within the system. And that's mainly because of inflation, but also because the cost of living and people aren't being paid a livable wage. And quite literally, the cost of living is increasing exponentially always. Mind you, the minimum wage federally has been the same for 20 years. So I just feel like at some point, this capitalistic system will actually force people to stop participating within the capitalistic system because of how greedy it is and because of these people who are billionaires and people in positions of power who own these giant companies and corporations yet can't pay their employees a livable wage and can't raise people's wages. And also inflation of items. On top of the fact that everything now needs a subscription service, even if people own whatever item it is, they will have to pay a subscription to use certain features from whatever they already paid for. So the capitalism will get to an extreme point to where people can no longer participate in the capitalism, even if they wanted to. And that's the whole thing. I feel like the universe kind of gave us the option to stop participating in the capitalism on our own behalf and literally just stop giving to the system over and over that quite literally just puts us in the same cycle of the people at the top hoarding the wealth and not actually making things better for everyone else who has to live in this world. So I feel like there is a collapse that's imminent of capitalism, and I feel like we were being given the choice to stop participating, with our own choice. But if that's not the case, I definitely feel like at some point, the capitalism itself will force people to stop participating within this capitalistic system. And quite literally, that will be a good thing, but it's just crazy that the capitalism will actually be the reason why people are no longer able to participate in the capitalism. Because there's not a livable wage being paid and people quite literally aren't able to afford things and wages aren't increasing. It's just a bunch of everything. And also like inflation is just crazy. So I feel like literally the universe is going to kind of make it so capitalism can no longer be participated in because of capitalism itself. That's what I'm seeing.
Once money starts feeling tighter, it doesn't just affect your bank account. It starts changing how you spend every day. Instead of using weekends to actually relax, a lot of people spend them catching up on groceries, cleaning, laundry, errands, appointments, and trying to prepare for another week of work. Even something simple like going out for dinner or seeing a movie can turn into checking your bank account first and wondering if it's really worth it. That constant second guessing becomes normal without people even realizing it. You start putting off things that would actually make your life better because there's always something more important that needs money first. Maybe it's replacing tires that are wearing out. Maybe it's finally going to the dentist. Maybe it's taking a vacation you've been talking about for years. Maybe it's buying new clothes even though the ones you have are falling apart. Those things don't disappear because people stop caring about them. They just get pushed back because another bill always seems to show up first. After a while, it can feel like you're spending all your energy maintaining your life instead of actually living it. You're crossing things off a checklist every day, but the checklist somehow never gets shorter. The next bill arrives, another price goes up, something around the house needs fixing, or another expense pops up that nobody planned for. That cycle is what wears people down more than any single purchase ever could. It also changes the way people think about the future. Instead of asking, what do I want to get next year? People end up asking, can I afford next month? That shift is subtle, but it completely changes how life feels. You stop making decisions based on what you're excited about, and start making decisions based on what creates the least financial damage. Eventually, that mindset becomes automatic. You hesitate before buying things you genuinely need. You feel guilty about spending money on hobbies or taking a day off because it feels like there's always something more responsible you should be doing. Even when you're technically doing okay, it can be hard to actually feel secure because one unexpected expense can throw off your entire month. It's not that people expect adulthood to be effortless, because everyone knows responsibilities are part of life. The frustrating part is that you're running as fast as you can just to stay in the same place. That's why so many people keep saying something feels off about normal life right now, because it's not one huge event everyone can point to. It's the hundreds of tiny pressures that build up day after day until simply keeping up starts feeling like a full-time job all by itself.